One time when we had a staff party at work, and I forgot that you had prepared a lovely meal at home. And there was
And you didn't tell me that
such
there was a
nice
staff
meat.
party.
And I ate and I was so full. And I
And
came
I'm waiting.
home happy
I'm waiting to have dinner with my best friend.
with your husband.
Yeah, and best friend and husband, yeah.
Meanwhile-
And I'm hungry, but I said, no, we shall enjoy this nice meal together.
And then
Someone comes back.
satisfied. I'm Timothy.
And I'm Rich Gold, and welcome
Welcome
to
to
episode 7 of Relationship Notes and Stories.
How are you doing, honey?
I'm okay. How are you?
You well?
Yeah, I
Are
am.
you done with all those disappointments that you had?
I am.
I can't
The
even,
Lord.
I can't even feel like a peace coming over me.
Oh, really? I told you, you just look to God. You just look to God and you just let Him take it on. And another thing I'm also learning is, or that I learned, but I'm learning to use more, is in those times of disappointment, focus on gratitude. So when I think about the fact that, family is healthy, family is well, we're okay, here we are, all these things that seem so
Trivial.
yeah, it seems so trivial, and you just like, you actually now to start say thank you, God, thank you. So I don't know what you're going through. I don't know what situation is making you unhappy right now, but just a reminder to focus on the one that is in charge. He knows it all, even when you don't.
Yeah. That's cool.
But last time I wanted to ask you certain questions, which I
You
didn't.
don't even care how I'm doing, if I'm fine.
But I asked you. Did I didn't ask you?
You did ask me
I'm sorry.
after all these years.
No, but I always ask you how you are.
It's well.
How are you, Osan?
I am well. I think I'm.
How are you really?
How am I doing?
How are you really?
Really good. I am well. I'm missing my son and the son to whole team. Even though we are here.
It's just a few hours. Yeah, we're going to see
We
him.
are going to see.
Yeah. Wait a-
And then being a father is interesting. You miss him. What's interesting about having a child is when you want your personal space, you're like, I don't want you here. The moment they are out of your space, you're like, can I wonder where they are and what they are doing?
I think it's because they infiltrate your life so much that you can't
Their
imagine.
absence
Yeah.
makes you wonder.
And yet they weren't there before.
Yeah.
But anyway, last time we talked about when you're just newlyweds and you get married, and how you come into a relationship with expectations, with things that you assume will be normal because of your background, because of your upbringing, because of your even just how you do things generally. Like I remember it was so obvious for me that there's order. Like we'll always keep time. I'm a timekeeper. Everyone's a timekeeper. Like why not? And alas, was it the same on your end? No.
Not really.
No, there's not really. I remember
really,
I used to
not
be
yes.
late to work.
Yeah, when we got married.
Because
Yes,
someone someone used to snooze their alarm.
You are.
And I'm showered, I'm ready. Anyway, if you missed last episode, please go back because we are building up on it. And just having a conversation around what happens in those scenarios where I'm late to work consistently. What do I do? And how do I don't understand. Is it overcome? Or I think the word is adjust or align with my partner while we're in this new space together. We've both never been married. We both never lived together. And then how do we start that journey of becoming one? Is that it? So
Yeah.
what pointers do you have? What was it for you, or what helped you start to be on that journey? Or should I go first?
I think maybe okay, you can go first, or maybe I can go.
Okay, so one of the things that comes to mind for me is extending grace. and extending grace because we've not been married before, because we are both different, we are dynamic, we're from different upbringings, and in as much as it's difficult, to extend grace to your partner as you obviously communicate that, and communication isn't really, I've told you and I want you tomorrow to wake up and be on your 100%, but just extending that grace to allow your partner to see what the conversation was about and how much it means to you, and get into the place where he's putting effort or they're working towards a mutual ground. So part of that grace was, like this most recent example I've just given, is accepting that I would be late to work. It wasn't nice, but you just realize, I said, so should I go to work every day upset with you and start a conversation with why we need to keep time, or let me just be on time, wait for you, have our breakfast ready, and we move. When we reach, we reach. And I extended, and not just in that scenario, but also from last week's episodes, the priesthood thing that we're saying, taking the lead and prayer and all that, and allowing you, but also while you extend grace, continue to do your part. You don't have to expect your partner to be a certain way when you yourself are not growing. So keep doing. My life shouldn't stop because if I need to do certain things on my end that I can, then I do them. Yeah, so
Right. For me, it's probably getting to realize that when you get married, even though yes, you have made the decision and you're now living your life with someone else, it doesn't change the fact that you have lived your singlehood life for all these years. So, like in the first 6 months or so, it's going to be an adjustment.
yeah.
Of you have been used to, like for guys, you leave the toilet seat up.
Yeah.
You have been used to getting up whenever you want. You've been used to having bread before going to bed is not the end of the world. You've been used to, if I go and get chicken on the roadside, it's not the end of the world.
But these examples
I'm giving real examples because, like for me personally, those were some of the adjustments I made because I have now gotten married. So now I have a person in my space, in our home, but probably because I was in the house before, it's like in my home, and so I feel like she has come, she's bringing in things, and you're improving life way beyond. Like the saucepans are being used, they are making they're actually working.
Oh wow, really?
I'm not necessarily that, but then there's
Is that you saying thank you? Is that you just?
if you want me to say thank you.
How did you just say the saucepans are being used?
What did you think all those flowers were for? I think it was just because of our word. But
For the saucepans being used.
no. But anyway,
Yeah, but
you're in that space where you have been living alone. So as a result, when you have a sudden change, it's not like a sudden change. It's a change you've been looking forward to because, of course, you asked the person to get married, and now you're in the same space. You're actively trying to allow for them to be there and exist, but also you have certain parts of you that you want to continue existing. I don't know if that makes sense.
but is it sustainable that you can hold on to those parts?
It's not sustainable.
Okay.
I'm just simply saying
I get you.
it's going to take, I have to be transparent and say, it will take a bit of time. It will take a bit of time to understand that, you know what, whether I like playing my Kirk Franklin music or hip hop in the morning or whatsoever it is,
Don't kill me.
I will not die. So that you can at least be happy.
Yeah.
Whether I want to say, okay, like the funniest thing, how I would say, let's watch a movie, and I put it on, then I just fall asleep watching the screen.
No, you've not explained it well. You say, you come and you say, let's watch it. If we work, we're tired. It's like 9 p.m., we've had dinner, we can watch a movie, a 3-hour movie. That's midnight. The next day you have to wake up. And obviously, between the two of us, because I'm, like I mentioned before, I'm the planner, I kind of see ahead. I say, I don't think it's feasible for us to watch a movie now. Maybe either we watch 30 minutes or we'll wait for the weekend. And you're like, no, it's possible. We're going to watch it. We'll finish it. 10 minutes into the movie, he's dead asleep. So that's a person who bargained to watch the and was so, and you know, it happened so many times that I'll tell you, and you know you're going to sleep. And you say, no, me, how? I want to watch this movie. I'm alert. Today I'm alert. Yeah. I just wanted to give context for
Yeah.
your example.
Anyway, she has reported me. But that's the reality. But it's so interesting how you marry someone and they get to know you better than you know yourself. Like, I
don't think they get to know you better. I think it exposes.
It exposes things, yes. That's a better way. But what I was saying is, you have lived your life alone, and it just takes time to embrace the other person in your space. And to psychologically, emotionally, also in routine, have them in your space. Like
we had to go together to work. You had to drop me fast.
To drop you fast.
Yeah.
What? I had to pick you up.
Yes.
We had to come back together.
We had to plan our weekends together.
I could not just say, like, I remember one time when we had a staff party at work, and I forgot that you had prepared a lovely meal at home. And there was
you didn't tell me that there was a
nice
staff
meat.
party.
I ate and I was so full. And I came
waiting.
happy.
I'm waiting to have dinner with my best friend.
With your husband.
Yeah, and best friend and husband, yeah. And I'm hungry, but I said, no, we shall enjoy this nice meal together. And someone comes back.
Satisfied. But that's just how to show it.
But that's on the point of communication. I think it's going to just be a whole episode.
Communication will be on its own chapter.
Ours has been so special. But let's go on.
What I'm trying to simply say is, we as a guy and even as a lady, there's that adjustment phase, and I think there's a place which I would call trying to shed off the selfish or individual nature and trying to embrace the double nature or the pact that you're two.
I don't think it's embracing. I think it's thinking of other people's interests or your partner's interests above yours.
I think it's thinking about your partner's interests, but it's thinking about our interests as a couple.
Yes.
Above yours.
Yes. So just imagine a scenario where you think about my interests above yours, and I think about your interests above mine. Already we're.
Funny to say, I feel like we got to that place kind of very recently. Not in a bad way. Not in a bad way. Like, you know how I like doing spontaneous things. And how you like planning, preparation.
Yeah. Foresight.
How will we move? What socks will we wear?
No.
Okay. But now you're the one with a very spontaneous bond. We can be there and you're like, let's go have ribs. And I'm like, what did we really think about it? And I have to remind myself that I really want to have ribs now. Because now, I mean, like some of the things of planning.
Yeah, but you see, we're all now embracing each other's unique, should I say, skills and abilities. And then you can think like me and I can think like you. So yeah, I see what you're saying. I think one of the other things I learned or I can share is to just rely on God, to just pray. I can't change you. In as much as I want certain things or I would prefer certain things when I get married, I'm not God. And when you get into that space where you actively start to make yourself you make your partner the clay and you're the one who wants to mold your partner, it won't end well. So I learned to just let go and give it to God. I say, God, this is your child. You know him. You created him. You even understand him more than I do. Deal with him. And even as you do that, to allow God to do his part. And then also, look at yourself first and say, I'm in this scenario, I'm going through this in as much as it's difficult, because adjusting is really trying to find a rhythm. what can I do? Even in this time where I feel you should be doing something, what can I do to make the relations, to make the rhythm, start to
flow.
Yeah. What other?
The other point I would bring, I think maybe it should be a topic we should explore on its own. What I wanted to say is, you talked about changing the other person to kind of suit what you want. And how do I put it? Like appreciating them, because you fell in love with this person. You fell in love with a bad communicator. You fell in love with a person who likes falling asleep while watching movies. You fell in love with
But those were not the labels.
Yeah, I'm just giving.
It's part of the
It's the person.
package, yeah.
It's the package. But then you fell in love because of the person, including these things.
Yeah.
And maybe there were certain things that you liked. This romantic guy, this caring, thoughtful individual, whatsoever. But this is still also the same guy who likes loud music,
Yeah.
will not communicate,
Wake up late.
yeah, things like that, and trying to see how we reconcile those two. But maybe that could be another one, like changing your spouse. Is it possible? Is it good or bad? The other thing I would just say is, you mentioned it, but I want to just mention it in a more simple way. Just think about what the other person would want before yourself. Like I remember we talked about it in the last episode, the thing of music. It was such a pain. And I remember just reaching a point and I'm like, you know what? They're headphones. Headphones were made for a reason like this. So I put on my headphones and I would play my music so loud.
Blasted my silence.
And you blasted your silence and then so much noise. And it's just a loud thing.
But you speak about headphones. It's something you can. Okay, the music and the headphones is something you can, like, it's a solution, problem and solution.
Yeah.
But there's scenarios where it's not a quick fix. Like now, for example, I'm quite allergic to perfumes, to all those things. And getting married, he used to wear like strong perfumes.
So strong. I used to just wear. I don't even wear like many perfumes.
Okay.
But okay, scent.
The word, scents, and any scent for me is just equals to migraine, equals to allergy, and all those things. So imagine now we are here. Initially, I just used to meet you. We go on dates, we chill. Maybe I can tolerate it. Now I'm in your space. You spray yourself. We're in the same car traveling together, and it was just so hard, like constant pain. I mean, literally like physical pain. And I communicated to you, we have to find a way, because I myself don't use them. And it was so pain. I think it was difficult for you because, it's what you've known. Everyone, this is normal. And I say we need to find other alternatives, like scents that actually, things that don't have sense. And it was just hard. I remember that's one of the things. But this particular example doesn't have a quick fix. You literally had to let go, because between the two of us, who can handle sense? You. Who can't stand sense? Me. And I know it was difficult because it was also a process. It didn't just happen overnight. And even in that process, I had to endure through that. Just, I don't know if you saw the pain I went through or what. And how it was for you.
If I could state it in a slightly...
But you thought about my interests. You realized
I thought about
that
your interests and let it go.
it wasn't doing...
But like in that moment, I felt like a sense of... I don't want to use a word that sounds a bit big, but maybe use it. I felt like betrayed. Because this is how I was smelling all through our time of dating. And I don't know, for like guys who like perfumes and ladies who like perfumes or a particular scent, it's like you
it becomes who you are. You like, yeah.
Then now here
You have to give it up.
I've gotten married. Yeah. So then 2 months in.
2 months is too long. I just can't.
I just can't.
Week.
And I'm like, what do you mean?
But you know why it's not? I can explain why it can't
I
be
got it.
betrayal. Because I used not to meet you in the morning.
Yeah.
We used to meet much later in the evening after work, and
It has
you
cooled
can't
down in
compare.
intensity.
Yeah,
Yeah, I do
and yet I
understand.
could still recognize it, but I could stand it then. Now we're in the same house. All these bottles are around us. We're in the same car. You just freshly.
Sound like there are many bottles. It was just one.
But anyway, but thank you guys. We are an unscented house. household. And yeah, but he had to give that up, and I appreciate that. So I was just showing you the flip. There could be some that have solutions, but there could be some that you have to totally let go for the sake of your partner. Yeah.
Yeah. So, what's your relationship note?
Do I have a note? Do you have a note or story?
No story.
I feel like we've given so many stories. My relationship note is in line with this conversation. You know, adjusting is a journey. When you come as two separate individuals, distinct backgrounds, very dynamic people, and you're now trying to become one, it's not going to happen overnight. You have this love and you have this affection for each other, but there has to be work to put, I like to call it, someone, your interests above mine. And thinking about you before I think about myself, And, I like even using, like in this case, what would Jesus do? Like, would he really react the way I have? So in those situations, it is a journey. And yes, you can have people you can share with, you're not even alone. Every couple goes through this, just that your examples are different, but every couple will go through this different, this season of adjustment, and some it's even longer than the other. Like the season takes longer than the other based on off of how you respond to it. So I think it's important for you to know that as you get into this space, you are different people, and just try and realign and see how can we find our rhythm where your interests are met, my interests are met. No one is dying.
I wanted to give a story, but it's better when you narrate it. So remember when we had gotten married, how I liked watching and still do like any movies that are about space. Anything to do with the stars, solar system and all. So this particular time I stumbled across this movie.
Oh, wow.
Oh my gosh.
Wow. I feel like thank God for you.
And Lord have mercy. This was the most freakishly real alien movie scenario. And
you know what's funny? We're watching a movie. And you know those movies where like I also see him shaking. Like you see like his
you actually stopped watching the movie and started just watching my reactions.
And laughing. It was so funny because I said, let's not watch this movie at this time. Like, the way I've seen, how it's going. Will you sleep? He said, no, we have to finish it. How is he reacting? He's like, always.
No, but that movie was really freakishly scary. But then coming to
But it wasn't horror. It was just like space and how.
It was like a horror.
Space kind
of. A horror reality type of movie.
I'm bringing the space element. Like, it was horror. Really, was it horror?
I don't know. I just remembered that and I was just like, I thank God that my wife introduced sleeping in the afternoons. Because
which you resisted, by the way. So,
yeah.
It's like you never knew that you was tired. When your body's tired, but you're like, no, I can't push through. I said, no, but you're tired. And then after he rests, he's like, that was really nice.
Anyways, catch you next time on Relationship Notes and Stories.
Yeah.